The red light, the night Michael turned away from death. What if I told you that a single red light saved a man's life, that at the very moment he thought he was losing everything, heaven intervened quietly, invisibly in the middle of an ordinary street? Tonight I want to share with you the story of Michael, a man who was always rushing against time, until the night he was forced to stop. And in that stop, he found the hand of God. If you believe that sometimes delays are not punishments but divine protection, like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to this channel. Because often, the greatest rescue comes when heaven makes us stand still. Michael was a successful executive in New York City. To the world, he had it all. The job, the house, the expensive suit, the fast car. But behind the sharp image was a broken soul, restless, weary, lost. He was a man drowning in deadlines, a father absent from dinners, a husband missing from his own home, a leader admired by colleagues but unknown by his own son. And then came that night, a rainy night, when a red light didn't just stop his car, it saved his life. Michael's days began before sunrise and ended long after midnight. Conference calls, endless emails, clients to impress, flights to catch. At home, his wife cried silently at the dinner table. His 8-year-old son drew pictures without him, yet when she asked for his presence, he answered with the same cold words, "I'm doing all of this for us." But deep down, he wasn't doing it for them. He was doing it out of fear. Fear of being weak, fear of being forgotten, fear of stopping. One rainy night, after yet another exhausting meeting, Michael drove aimlessly through the city. The windshield wipers struggled against the downpour, but his mind was heavier than the rain. On the passenger seat, an envelope lay open, divorce papers. His wife had left them on the bed. He turned up the radio, trying to drown out the storm inside. His lips trembled with words he hadn't spoken in years. "God, if you're still there, give me a sign. Anything, please." As he approached a deserted intersection, the traffic light turned red. There were no cars around, no police, no reason to wait. Impatient, Michael's foot pressed on the gas. But then, something inside whispered, "Wait." And that's when he saw him. A man standing alone in the rain, on the corner, drenched, silent. His eyes locked onto Michael's. The stranger smiled faintly and raised his hand with a clear gesture. "Stop." Michael froze, and in that very instant, out of the shadows, an 18-wheeler roared through the intersection, horn blaring, skidding on the wet asphalt. It cut across the road where Michael's car would have been. His breath caught in his chest. His knuckles turned white on the steering wheel. When he looked back to the corner, the man was gone. Michael pulled over and broke down. He sobbed like a child, not out of fear, but out of realization. He had prayed for a sign, and heaven had answered in the simplest, clearest way, a red light. That night, he didn't go back to the office. He didn't go back to the empty apartment of a distracted executive. He went home, to the place where love was waiting, almost lost. Days later, his son ran toward him with a school notebook. On the page, drawn with crayons, was a picture. Michael and him holding hands, standing in front of a traffic light, glowing bright red. Above it, the boy had written, "Daddy stopped." The teacher later told him, "Your son said, 'My dad almost went to heaven too soon, but God sent an angel to stop him.'" Michael couldn't hold back the tears. The drawing was more than art. It was prophecy. That moment changed everything. Michael sought help. He apologized to his wife. He learned to sit in silence and pray again. He returned to the church he hadn't set foot in since his youth. And every time he sat at a red light, he smiled. He whispered a short prayer, "Thank you, God, for stopping me." Today, Michael mentors other men who, like him, were burning out in the race for success. He speaks at retreats, in churches, and in recovery groups. He tells them not just about traffic lights, but about the moments when God places invisible barriers to save us. Yes, he still works, but he no longer runs blind, and he never, ever rushes through a red light again. How many times have you been frustrated with a delay? How many times have you seen a door close and thought it was punishment? But what if it was protection? What if heaven was whispering, "Wait, I'm saving you from something you cannot see"? Delays are not always denials. Sometimes they are rescues, disguised as interruptions. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who's running too fast. Comment below, "Lord, stop me when I need to be stopped." And don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Because sometimes the shortest way to truly live is to stop.